something that you guys were not aware of that was happening behind your back or under your nose is going to become clear to you all this month. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your January soul session. I am Princess India, if you are new, and if you are family, welcome back, my friend, and whatnot, or whatever. If you're not familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality as well as personal development readings. And we will be looking at the energy that you guys may encounter for a given month for the purpose of giving you guys clarity, advice, or guidance on how to deal with said things, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot, or whatever. So anywho, we're going to go ahead and jump right into you guys' cards, keeping in mind Surrender December, which was last month, and the collective reading that I did for you all in December. And each of the 12 signs got a card. And I have you guys' card in front of me, and the surrender card that you guys had was surrender your addictions. So these are things that would behoove you guys to leave behind, if you will, in 2020 or in December, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see where that correlates with what comes out in the cards. But for now, we have your central energy, your challenge, your past influence, future possibilities, your above energy, as well as your below energy, my friend. And we're going to see what's at the bottom of your deck. And this is Seven of Swords in the reverse. So what is looking like, Cancer? Something that was hidden from you all, and I say that loosely because I can see this in two ways. Something that was hidden from you in the sense of something that someone kept away from you intentionally, or something that you've been keeping hidden from yourself comes to light in the month of January. With this being the card that is in you guys' underlying energy, this is pretty much the influence or the energy, if you will, that is influencing what comes out in the rest of your cards. But the main premise of this is clarity. So something that you once upon a time didn't know, and once upon a time, let me turn off this ringer, once upon a time would be last month, or I mean, for some of you, it could extend longer than that, but something that you guys were not aware of that was happening behind your back or under your nose is going to become clear to you all this month. Another way that we can look at this, every time I see the Seven of Swords, those of you who have been with me for some time know I always say, what you skip will trip you up later. And I would feel if Cancerians have been stuck in a cycle for some time of skipping things that ultimately trip them up later. And the first thing that comes to my mind is a myriad of mundane kind of things like unpaid tickets, taxes that haven't been filed or paid. Some of y'all out there might be child support. It's not my business. You know what I'm saying? But things that aren't taken care of. And now this is going to turn into like an auntie lecture. It's more or less this coming full circle and this being a pervasive pattern that Cancerians have been stuck in for some time unknowingly, not being aware that that's the thing that is always kind of biting you in the butt. But it's almost like having an aha moment this month in reference to that. And I don't, oh wait, no, Cancer season isn't July. I was about to say, I don't know why I want to say July, but that would be Cancer season. So I don't know if this has something to do with you guys' birthday or something that happened around your birthday, but that's just a little something I'm throwing out there. But the fact that I'm getting all of this from your underlying energy, I haven't turned over the rest of the cards, but hey, everybody got a lecture this month, so why would Cancer be any different? So Cancer, just a little quick tip of advice here in reference to what I'm seeing with this pattern. Maybe it's my Mars in Capricorn, I don't know. But when it comes to life in general, right? Everything is operating on an energetic vibration. We live in a realm of exchange, right? So if you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, proverbially speaking, then someone's going to rob you, proverbially speaking, right? If you look at this as like almost like books, if you will, not like literal books, but I mean like you like finance books, and you think about being in the red, when we talk about things that you skip that trip you up later, like I was saying, unpaid parking tickets and things of the sort, student loans, you know what I'm saying? It's like things that are putting you in the red that you're thinking, oh, you know, I'll deal with that later, or that's not important now. I feel for a lot of Cancerians, this is the kind of stuff that comes to bite you in the butt later on, even if it's just maintenance on your car, right? Like not getting a tune-up, not staying consistent with your oil change, or, you know, getting your car checked out or whatever, or immediately going to the mechanic when your check engine light comes on. It's like these are all things that deteriorate over time or snowball, if you will. And just when you get your head above water, if you feel as if things are kind of hitting you from left field, they're not really coming from left field. They're not coming out of nowhere. It's not a series of unfortunate events. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably see a lot of this around Mercury retrograde. If you were to look back at 2020, you know, this is your homework. Go look back at 2020 and all of the Mercury retrogrades for 2020. And correlate that with things that have gone awry in your life. And I promise you, you probably started having toothaches, car breaking down, you know, letters from the IRS or whatever, stuff that comes up, and it just so happens to be around that time, right? So this stuff is not happening. I think the perception of it is more or less, like I said, a series of unfortunate events. But these events are not so unfortunate. These are things that can actually be taken care of, but it's more or less tripping you up later on because it's thinking that you're dodging it, but it always ends up coming back around like a boomerang to deal with it. But I feel for you all this month, that's going to become clear. You're kind of going to start to see how in some facets of your life, how you've been like your own worst enemy in a sense, right? Which makes me think about this surrender addictions card. Because I mean, for some of you, it could be overspending, mismanagement of money, or what have you. But anywho, lecture over, let's get into your cards. Your central energy, look at that. It's the moon card, this Cancerian energy. This is challenged by the temperance in the reverse, that's Sagittarius energy. And your past influence, wow, it's the 10 of swords in the reverse. So that does bring us back to this addictions card. The thing is here, Cancer, it's a belief would be the core of it, but it's more or less like a mindset that you guys have on how it is that you're approaching life, a way of doing things, or perceiving success, or a way to success, or a way to get ahead in life. And I feel you guys' approach to life, I'm just going to say life, because I feel like it, for each of you, it could be a myriad of different situations. It's more or less your mindset on how it is that you're approaching life, or different facets in your life, is what needs to change. Because I feel that this mindset or this perception is antiquated, it's outdated, it doesn't match with where it is that you are now. And that's really truly the prison that's holding you back. You know what I mean? For some of you, it could literally be negative thinking, like a negative perception towards yourself. It can be procrastination. It could be a myriad of different things. But the main premise of what I'm saying is the issue lies in your mental space. So it's how you're thinking about something, how you're approaching something, your beliefs about something. It's just a mindset is the easiest way that I could put it. Now, looking at you guys' central energy for the month of January, and us having the moon card here, and this being challenged by the temperance and the reverse, it's more or less that you guys are in a space where there could be melancholic emotions. you know what I mean? And feelings of stagnancy, like you can't move forward or not really knowing how to do so. But I feel that this is a intentional block by the divine, if you will, to prevent you all from moving forward. Because much like, and this is what happened with Gemini, it's almost like being blocked by spirit and forced to look within yourself. It's like being forced to do a deep dive and really look at yourself in the mirror. So a lot of the stuff I was saying with the Seven of Swords and the reverse, a lot of that stuff I said with that are all of the things I'm seeing that's coming up from this Ten of Swords and the reverse. And this moon and this temperance in the reverse. So it's more or less pointing the finger back at you. So it's not saying that it's your fault or, you know, any type of self-blame or anything like that. It's just more or less, like I said, seeing how in some way or another you've been your own worst enemy. So it's like how you've been robbing yourself of what it is that you have been taking action towards, which takes me to what I've been saying to just about every single sign when we're talking about the four bodies of man or the four elements of manifestation. For my Cancerians, the biggest deterrent to all facets of you being on one accord would be your mental space, right? So regardless of how you feel or what your intentions are, what the actions you're actually taking, it's more or less your perspective or well, yeah, I'll say your perspective on how to get to where you're trying to go or what you're doing is hindering the work that you guys are actually putting in. So I feel that there's a lack there of a forward movement. It's almost like if I were to really, I'm trying not to be repetitive. I'm totally being repetitive, but it's how I'm seeing it, Cancer. It's almost like being on a hamster wheel is how I feel Cancerians would feel. It's like you're running for your life, but it seems as if you're never really going anywhere, if that's making sense. But it's not being aware that you're on this hamster wheel. And this is more or less time for you guys to get off of this hamster wheel because there's something that's off kilter. But the specific thing that's off kilter is your approach or your perspective to what it is that's doing what you're doing. And that's what needs to be updated. Like there needs to be like a breakthrough mentally, and you need to see your life from another perspective, if you will. Now, I say need to see it. When we talk about having an alternative perspective, that's not something you inherently provoke. It's one of those things that come via like an aha moment, if you will. But I feel that that's what's happening for you guys. Like I said, with the Seven of Swords in the reverse, it's something being revealed to you. It's like you're just going about your life, going about your day, and suddenly, bam, it's like something clicks and you see it. You know what I mean? So your underlying energy is the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. That makes sense. Your above energy is the Fool in the reverse, and that is Aries energy, my friends. A little bit of Pluto there, and that's interesting. I wanted to say that with this addictions card, but that's interesting. Here's the deal. A lot of what my Cancerians are not aware of, another thing that you're not aware of with this Fool in the reverse, is there's a void in your life, in your heart, in your soul, but there's not really a void in your soul that's always perceptive because, you know, our souls are whole and everything. But there's a void you guys are trying to fill within yourself. So it's something inherently, and I mean, for some of you, this could go as deep as, you know, the God-shaped hole in your heart, you know what I mean? Or the daddy-shaped hole in your heart, or the mommy-shaped hole in your heart. It could be a myriad of different things, but there's something within Cancer. It's a void. I can't say that it's literally there, but one's experience has brought the Cancer person who resonates with this to a place to where they feel something in their life is missing. And this may not be conscious, but when we talk about addictive behaviors, the truth behind all addictions is that it's a human who is trying to fill a void. They feel something is missing within themselves, and whatever the addiction is, whether it's drugs, whether it's drinking, shopping, eating, working out, or just working. It's trying to fill something in your life that you perceive to be missing, right? It borderlines on risky behavior, speaking of this Fool in this reverse and the Temperance in the reverse, because it's teetering you to one side. It's like you're putting all of your energy into something, if it's an addiction, right? Or working, overworking, whatever it is, you're putting all of your energy into this one thing and it's leaving other parts of your life neglected. So it puts you off kilter. So you never really feel like a sense of security and stability, like within yourself. You know what I mean? So all of this is influenced also with the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, which means that you guys are like in a place to where you're really starting to question what you're doing and where you're at present. You know what I mean? It's like looking at the things that you have put time, energy, and effort into that haven't quite bore fruit. And it's questioning like, what am I doing this for? Or is this worth it? Do I want to keep investing in this? But going back to what I was saying with this mental space, and even including this Fool and this Temperance and the reverse, the reason why things are not matriculating the way that you desire is because it's something that you guys are neglecting. It's something that you guys are overlooking, or it's something you guys aren't paying, or whatever the case may be, that keeps coming around and biting you in the butt. So it's almost like when you're putting work into something, like if we said this is like, the analogy of Cancerian farmers, it's like you're tilling the land, you're planting seeds and all of this stuff. And as soon as your crop like sprouts up, because you didn't pay the mortgage on your farm, you know what I'm saying? The mortgage company comes and steals your whole crop. Well, I mean, they're not really stealing it. It's like they're taking it because you didn't pay them, right? And then it's feeling like, oh my gosh, I did all of this work and like my entire crop is gone now. But it's like the reason why the crop is gone is because you didn't pay your mortgage type of deal. So I feel Cancers have found themselves in this place of not understanding why you always end up finding yourself in the same place. Like, and I said this in the, I don't know who needs to hear this video, like 365 days later, you find yourself like beginning the year the same way that it ended, or ending the year the same way that it began, but you can't seem to figure out why. Because it's like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I don't understand why this isn't working for me. Like, what am I doing wrong? And it's because it's something that you're doing insidiously that you're not consciously aware of. It's something where you've been doing it for so long, it's second nature to you, and you're not really seeing how it's causing you harm and it's robbing you, if that's making sense. But the beautiful thing about it is, this is going to be revealed to you guys this month. So this is a form of self-sabotage in so many words. But it's nothing to really fret about because, like I said, it's going to be revealed to you. But I mean, I can understand how frustrating that is, because the vibe I get from this is, there may be people in your life who feel like you're like playing dumb. Like, how do you not see that you're doing this? But I wholeheartedly feel the Cancer people who resonate with this are literally oblivious. Like, you don't see what it is. And you've probably sat here and thought about it for some time, and it's like, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? But it could be something as simple as not checking your car, not getting your oil changed, not paying your bills on time. It's going to be different, for different people. But keep that little farmer scenario in mind. It's literally, you do all this work, all of your entire crop is gone, but it's gone because you didn't pay the mortgage, and the mortgage company want their money. You feel what I'm saying? But anywho, the next card you guys have going forward is the Ace of Cups in the reverse. So it's emotional disappointment. It's something not panning out the way that you desire, right? And I don't feel that this is saying like, oh, I'm predicting in the future that Cancers are going to be just emotionally unfulfilled and things are not going to work out for you, Cancer. No, that's not what I'm saying. I feel this is the byproduct of what always happens for you all. But it's like, this is showing you, and this has happened for a lot of signs. It's almost like what's coming out in these cards is giving you a clear snapshot of how a month will typically pan out for you, but it's giving you all of the pieces in between as to why that happens, right? So you have that framework. So you know when you get this aha, what it is that needs to shift. So I'm feeling for you guys, it starts as a mental thing. It starts with something as simple as, you know, I'm not going to pay my car note this month, or, you know, I'm going to go on this trip instead of, you know, paying my rent this month or whatever. And it seems like a very valid reason for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel justified in doing that, or like, I don't need to pay my student loans right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just got my tax return since it's tax season. It's like, I just got my tax returns. It's like, I could put this on my student loans, but that's just going to go to interest. Like, I'm going to go, you know, buy this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then later on, some hiccup happens where you need your credit score for something and your credit score is like a 300. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't been paying your student loans and now it's like you're jacked up and you got to get a roommate or something. I don't know. You know, whatever the case may be. But it's this mindset or this perspective or the way that you typically solve your problems or how you approach things, or I don't know, like this antiquated perspective that you think is going to get your needs met. And this antiquated perspective of how you think you're going to get your needs met is actually what's undermining you and leaving you in a space to where you're still emotionally unfulfilled. So it's the mindset that needs to shift, in so many words. I hope that that makes sense, Cancer. But anywho, that has been your reading, my friends. I'm going over to Vimeo, my website, Patreon, and YouTube members to do you guys extended, and your extended is your 2021 overview, my friends. So if you're about that life, follow me on over there. But if not, I still love your face. You know what I'm saying? And I'll see you guys sooner than later. And that would be in the extended. I mean, if you watch it, you know, love your face.